Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Wednesday, October 22nd, reveal that some Mark Green return drama is on the way. Leo Stark will also get busted, while Thomas DiMera needs some help and turns to Jeremy Horton. First on Wednesday's Duel episode, EJ DiMera will have a discussion with Chad DiMera about family issues. Chad certainly has a lot of them right now, since Thomas had a meltdown over the whole Cat Green situation. EJ will be sorry about that and will understand that Chad's stuck in a tricky situation. Chad and EJ will share a moment of connection as they talk about all this, so it'll be nice to see the brothers getting along. Over with Jeremy, he'll come through for Thomas and deliver some good advice. Day's spoilers say Thomas will discuss his issues with Kat, but Jeremy may try to open him up to the possibility of forgiveness and acceptance. Chad broke up with Kat due to Thomas's meltdown, but Jeremy may hope he can change the kid's perspective a bit. Back with EJ, he'll share scenes with Mark Green. Mark recently scored his parole and may be in need of a job, so could EJ have something shady for him to do related to his upcoming hush-hush experiments? Will Mark risk his freedom to carry out whatever mysterious orders EJ might deliver next? Regardless, Mark will have to get used to life in Salem again and could face some complications. Other days, spoilers say Leo will get busted while snooping. It'll be Rita Leslie who catches Leo in the act and presumably reports back to EJ after Leo's sniffing around where he's not supposed to be. Over with Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis. They'll discuss their plan to unveil Stephanie as Anastasia Sands. Days spoilers say Alex and Stephanie will ultimately bump into Jeremy in the town square, where Alex will accuse him of being the one to expose the pseudonym truth to Leo. Stephanie will try to shut down the confrontation, but Jeremy will be confused over this news and should defend his innocence. Days of Our Lives spoilers say EJ's actions could come back to haunt him eventually, since he's the one who spilled to Leo, not Jeremy, so stay tuned for updates on all the reactions. EJ shows up at Belle's with a bouquet of flowers for her birthday. She's not happy. Before she can close the door on his face, EJ convinces her to let him in. Literally, not metaphorically. He wanted to bring good cheer since it's her first birthday since John's death and have her prosecute Sophia Choi. EJ starts yelling about what she did to Johnny, but Belle says the teen has mental health issues. She then lays out how EJ is the reason Johnny, Tate, Sophia, and Chanel's lives are all in chaos. She'll deal with Sophia as she sees fit. Thank you very much for the flowers. They're beautiful. Goodbye. Gabby and Philip wrap up their roll in the hay and catch their breath. Philip's super impressed, and when he sees Xander's missed calls, tells Gabby, "It was so worth it." Xander tries calling his brother again from the office, demanding to know where he is. Then Theo shows up at Xander's door. Until the merger's undone, they all still work together, and he just wants to help. Xander's not impressed until Theo insists he wants their families to be civil going forward. That just shocks the Titan CEO. A decent person is in charge of DiMera Enterprises. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. Xander pays extra attention when Theo says Gabby was upset he was named CEO, which is right when she and Philip sweep into the office. Gabby diffuses Xander's suspicions. She was just surprised and disappointed Tony didn't give her a heads up, then yanks Theo away. Xander, naturally, wants to know why she was with Philip. They're attracted to each other and, seeing where things go, Philip shrugs, by hopping into bed. But he leaves that part out. Then Xander turns things back to him, and his terror that he might end up coming clean to Sarah about beating Philip, who, in turn, tells him to keep his trap shut. Anyway, Xander goes to meet Sarah for lunch. Gabby pulls Theo away for a secret conversation. In front of the pub? She tells him to keep mum about Tony betraying her, and Theo figures out she planted the bug in Xander's office. She wants to pursue something with Philip, and this won't help. She apologizes again for doubting he was qualified, and Theo, being the decent person he is, accepts it and promises to keep her secret. Paulina and Abe meet for a meal in the square, but he's still salty over her advice to Theo. He insists that she betrayed his trust, though Paulina scoffs at the idea and just calls this a difference of opinion. Theo wanted this job and just came to her for permission. Abe counters that Theo was vulnerable after Claire, and he's not sure his son can handle the CEO pressure. Abe? Is this being protective or ableism? Worse, the DiMeras are a family that eats its own. Well, that's graphic. Paulina stands up for Theo some more, only for Abe to growl that his problem isn't Theo. It's her. She gave his son advice that I never would. Paulina tries diffusing his anger, saying she did what she thought was right, but Abe snaps that she's wrong and leaves. Marlena fills Sarah in on her exam of Sophia. She's had a complete psychological break and needs inpatient therapy, meaning being committed to Bayview. Marlena will make the arrangements, then shrugs off Sarah's concern about her own health issues after Belle told the doc what happened. Marlena just says, "These are all symptoms of grief," then leaves. When Marlena gets home, she presents Belle with some fresh flowers, then notices EJ's bouquet. When Sophia comes up, Marlena just tells her daughter that it may be some time before Sophia can give any answers. As they enjoy some ice cream, Marlena casually brings up Belle, talking to Sarah about her. Belle gets worked up as she tells her mom she needs to be okay and stick around for a very long time. Marlena promises she's not going anywhere, so how about ditching work and watching a Jason Bourne movie again? See what they did there? John was modeled off of Jason Bourne. From the novels, not the movies/show. Sarah goes to Xander's and asks him to move back to the house, in a guest room. Well, she's about to regret that big time. Gabby heads back to Philip after working things out with Theo, so they make dinner plans and start making out in the office again. Theo visits the mansion looking for Tony, but finds EJ instead. They sit down to a game of chess, where EJ tells his nephew he's always around for DiMera advice, but he trusts the company in Theo's hands and doesn't want it for himself. They reach a stalemate in chess, and what exactly are they dancing around? If there's one thing we know about walking the red carpet, it's that it should be fun. And stylish, of course, but mostly, we hope that anyone attending a big ceremony, like the Daytime Emmy Awards, enjoys themselves and shares it with those they love. Luckily, that looks to be exactly what Days of Our Lives' Greg Rikaart did. The actor and his husband, Robert Sudduth, brought their son Montgomery along for the experience, and all three fellas were look stylish and fantastic. Though if we had to pick a favorite outfit, it would be Montgomery's. A skeleton tuxedo shirt isn't just seasonably appropriate, it's just fun. Honestly, if we could get away with wearing one more often, we would too. Everything's more fresh and enjoyable when we get to view it through the eyes of our kids, especially when it comes to something they're experiencing for the first time. So flip through Rikaart'S photos below to see the Emmys through his and his family's eyes. And if you want even more Emmy fun, Leo's portrayer shared another post, celebrating with both his Days of Our Lives and his The Young and the Restless family, along with his soapy co-host and friend, the bold and the beautiful's Rebecca Budig. "Love being a part of Team Days of Our Lives," he wrote. "Loved watching my Zandy take home his statue and loved seeing so many pals." And just in case you missed Rikaart and the rest of the Salem crew's reaction to Telfer's win, you can check it out as you scroll through the photos. Trust us when we say they were all excited. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, October 21st, reveal that EJ DiMera will make a special delivery while Marlena Evans weighs in on an alarming case. Gabby Hernandez and Theo Carver will also strike a deal, so let's talk about what's ahead on Duel. At the DiMera mansion, Theo will catch up with EJ over a game of chess. That'll give EJ and Theo a chance to discuss the future of DiMera Enterprises now that Theo is taking over as CEO. After Gabby basks in the afterglow of her passionate encounter with Philip Kyriakis, Days spoilers say she'll have a conversation with Theo outside the pub. That'll lead to Theo and Gabby reaching an agreement, so they'll put any recent conflict to rest and try to understand each other a bit better. While Gabby and Theo strike that deal, Xander Kyriakis will put Philip through a grilling session. That may involve Gabby now that Philip is growing closer to her and heating things up behind closed doors. Of course, Xander will remain grateful to be getting things back on track with Sarah Horton Kyriakis. Philip may assure Xander that he'll keep up the lie about someone else attacking him, which could give Maggie Kyriakis an opportunity to overhear the truth about Xander being responsible. Back with EJ, he'll make a special delivery to the townhouse, where he'll show up with flowers for Belle Black. Day's spoilers suggest Belle may worry that EJ's trying to get back together again, but it looks like he'll have another reason for turning on the charm. EJ will try to manipulate Belle a bit, so this may tie in with his hospital wing goals. Whatever the case, Belle isn't someone who's easily swayed by EJ anymore, so his bouquet may not do much to win her favor. Over with Marlena, Day's spoilers say she'll consult with Sarah on an alarming case. That should involve backing Sarah up and confirming that Sophia Choi has suffered a psychological break. Finally, Abe Carver and Paulina Price will get into an argument about Theo's future, so more conflicts ahead for this couple. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Abe will have to accept that Theo's going to make his own choices, but we'll bring you updates on any terrible news that could be looming due to his Dimera job decision. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that the end of the Sophia Choi and Tate Black baby story, or at least part of it. After months of lies and deception from Sophia, the truth about baby Tesoro has finally come out, at least the fact that the baby is Sophia'S and is not Tate's. Sophia's attempt at revenge has blown up in her face. Sophia has been caught and is at the hospital. However, we have no idea what happens with Aaron Green and his family when it comes to the child. Who does baby Tesoro end up with? Is Aaron the baby's real father? What happens to Sophia now that she has suffered a completely break? Monday, October 20th. Episode ended with Sophia completely breaking down and fainting before waking up, unable to speak. Sophia was taken to the hospital and was declared physically fine. However, Sarah Kyriakis said that Sophia is suffering from selective mutism. Everyone was demanding answers from Sophia, and she completely collapsed. Sarah may call this selective mutism, but Sophia isn't just not talking. She doesn't speak. She doesn't react. She doesn't seem to be aware of anything anymore. Sophia could come out of this, but it doesn't look too promising so far. Sarah is going to consult with Marlena Evans tomorrow. This may be the psych evaluation that Sarah promised Amy Choi. However, it seems that by Thursday, Amy is going to have to face some hard truths about her daughter. Could Sophia be going to a psychiatric ward somewhere because they do not expect her to come back to herself anytime soon? If Sophia is sent away, then this may be the last we've seen of Sophia for a while. After all, there is really no point in having someone sitting there talking to Sophia, as she doesn't respond to anything they say. Could Amy insist on sending her daughter where she can get the best treatment and send Sophia far away? Sometimes characters come back, and sometimes they don't. What will happen in Sophia's case? Right now, Sophia has inspiration because her son is in Salem. However, if someone else outside of Salem gets the baby, it is hard to say where Sophia might go. With all of Sophia's chaos, if she does come back to Salem, let's hope she gets the help she needs and doesn't turn into another Jan Spears. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Tuesday, October 21st, suggest some interesting moments in Salem. Two rivals come to an understanding while someone tries to butter up their ex, and a married super couple clashes. Find out what's set to unravel on Tuesday's show below. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, October 21st, reveal that Gabby Hernandez will come to an understanding with Theo Carver. These two did clash upon Gabby finding out that Theo was going to run Dimera, and that Tony Dimera withdrew his promise to her that she would be Dimera CEO. Will Theo ask Gabby to be part of Dimera's leadership team? In other news, Xander Kyriakis will question Philip Kyriakis. Could this turn into something ugly? The brothers have been getting along, but Xander can flip at the drop of a hat. Speaking of Theo and running Dimera, Lovebirds Abe Carver and his wife, Paulina Price, are on opposite sides of the fence. Abe doesn't want his son mixed up in Dimera business, while Paulina thinks it's a wonderful idea. Read this. Days of Our Lives spoilers next 2 weeks, Rachel's memory flash, Holly and Ari's fire punishment, Sophia hospitalized. In fact, she encouraged Theo to go for it prior to Tony's announcement. Now it sounds like Abe and Paulina will clash during the October 21st show. So could Theo running Dimera place a wedge between the super couple? It looks like trouble is brewing for the two. Meanwhile, Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday hint. Sarah Horton Kyriakis will consult Marlena Evans about something. Could this be regarding Sophia Choi and her mental health breakdown? Or is this about Sarah's marriage and recent reunion? Across town, EJ DiMera will attempt to butter up his ex, Belle Black. But what are his true motives behind this? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Tuesday's show? Share your thoughts. Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the October 22, 2025 episode tease mindful meetings and sneaky snooping. While Leo continues snooping around the new free clinic, EJ may make a calculated hire. Leo arrives at the Tom Horton Free Clinic, which is still under construction. Leo runs into Rita in a hard hat. EJ meets with Mark. Days of Our Lives spoilers for October 22nd tease that EJ will discuss DiMera family drama with Chad. Anna Lynn McCord describes her Emmy nod as part of a full-circle moment that goes beyond acting. Things have been anything but simple on Days of Our Lives lately. Chad's been struggling with the weight of family pressure, ultimately breaking things off with Kat despite how much they care about each other. Meanwhile, Kat has her own storm brewing as she digs deeper into EJ's shiny new free clinic wing of the hospital. A story that's shaping up to be a lot more complicated than the press releases suggest. And as the drama heats up on screen, Anna Lynn McCord is reflecting on how stepping into this world has unexpectedly shifted something inside of her. Access Hollywood caught up with McCord as she was getting ready for the daytime Emmys. She opened up about how her role as Kat came at the perfect time in her life. She explained that being part of the cast gave her the chance to hit a personal and professional reset. Instead of being a simple acting job, she finds it to be like a full-circle moment. I really felt like the category is really special to me because I feel like I've had a reset and I'm emerging, she said. That sense of emergence is reflected both in how she approaches her character and how she's showing up in the world. The actress admitted that her very first Daytime Emmy nomination was still a pinch-me moment, but she took everything in stride, feeling that while the recognition is great, it's this new chapter of her life where she's truly feeling fulfilled. It's not just about her acting, but a celebration of personal growth. As her glam team prepped her for Emmy night, McCord kept her energy light and infectious. She shared that her goal was to keep things clean and fresh, playing with a soft shadow line that gives her lips just enough of a pop. She laughed about how she's not a fashion designer, but still gushed over her old Hollywood-inspired Tom Ford gown, with flowing Grecian fabric trailing behind her. "It is gorgeous, I promise, and when you see me later on the red carpet, you'll understand," she excitedly stated. She also showed her sparkling baubles and vintage costume jewelry she'd handpicked from local shops. She was like a kid at Christmas, getting ready to enjoy herself. But amid all the fashion and fun, the heart of her night remained the work. Reflecting on a favorite line from her day's run, "I'm just so sorry that I'm pretending to be your dead wife, but I really do love you," McCord cracked up, calling it a perfect example of why she adores this role. "That's why I deserve this Emmy," she teased with a grin. Jonah Robinson debuted on Days of Our Lives in 2024 as Dr. Mark Green, a seemingly above-board good guy. However, he soon ended up in prison courtesy of a deadly plot orchestrated by Clyde Weston. Having served his time, the character is now out of the slammer, which has brought Robinson back to the show's canvas. Robinson, who hails from Los Angeles, CA, is a man of many talents, among them actor, dancer, and producer. He received a bachelor's degree in musical theater from the University of Miami and has been working on stage and on camera ever since. Want to learn more about the actor? Here are 6 things to know about Jonah Robinson. 1. Robinson is a successful singer-songwriter who performs under the name Not the Whale. You can check out his music on Spotify and Apple Music. 2. Did you know that he is also an accomplished musician who plays multiple instruments? Music has always been my reliable, steadfast companion through the ebbs and flows of my career in the arts, Robinson told Vocal Media. My dad taught me a few chords on the guitar when I was a kid, and since then it's been a passion of mine to learn how to play any instrument I find myself in the room with. It's kind of a master of none situation, but I can get by on 10 or 11 instruments as of now. The cello is next on my list. 3. Robinson has performed in regional houses and at theater festivals throughout country. Among them, the Goodspeed Opera House, the Utah Shakespeare Festival, the Kravis Center, the Fountain Theater, and others. He's tackled starring roles like Tony in West Side Story, Danny Zuko in Grease, Elvis Presley in $1 Million Quartet, and Ren McCormick in Footloose. 4. He made his TV debut in Amazon Prime's musical drama miniseries Daisy Jones and the Six in 2023. He played Roger McGuinn, the frontman and leader of The Byrds. The project also featured former Days star Olivia Rose Keegan, who played Claire Brady. 5. He also works as an audition coach and has led workshops in Shakespeare, musical theater, and stage combat. 6. Robinson appreciates everything that living in Los Angeles offers. What I love about LA, that not everyone realizes, is that you can access incredible hiking trails and find yourself fully immersed in nature on almost every outskirts of the city, he told Revamp. In the same day, you can go from skiing in the mountains to sitting on the beach. I have a few favorite parks in the middle of the city that let me forget there is traffic on the other side of the sound-muffling trees. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, October 22nd. Find EJ and Chad comparing notes on the mess that is their lives, while Leo has another one of his brilliant ideas that once again goes south. EJ just got yelled at by Sarah for not paying hospital techs enough for Sarah to get her lab results in a timely manner. Has she considered that maybe her calling in favors to run rush DNA tests for friends like Brady might also be responsible for the backlog? Of course not. She's a Horton. Hortons never do anything wrong. Damaris, on the other hand, Damaris are always evil. EJ sighs to Chad that their family isn't popular. Chad understands why no one likes EJ, but why is he getting flack? He's one of the good ones. All he did was date the woman who pretended to be his dead wife. Boy, Abigail's parents are so sensitive. Jennifer and Jack aren't the only ones against Chad dating Kat. Thomas pretty much gave his dad an ultimatum. He's unhappy. So Thomas turns to his new teacher, Jeremy. Jeremy gets through to Thomas in a way his dad couldn't. But do you really want a guy with a rap sheet like Jeremy's influencing vulnerable kids? Leo sees himself as an intrepid reporter. He's determined to prove that EJ was responsible for the Great Salem Blackout. And if EJ won't confirm it himself, why, no? That would make it so much, sir. Then Leo is going to have to do it the hard way and actually come up with real, tangible evidence. So Leo goes digging and comes up against Rita. There aren't enough clever quips in the world to charm his way out of this one. Stephanie wrote a sexy book. Alex published it. It sold well. Now Stephanie is ready to tell the world that she's Anastasia Sands as a way to keep EJ from spilling the beans first. So that's what they're going to do. Yes, this is their storyline. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. After finding Gwen in the construction area for EJ's new hospital lab, Leo is more curious about the place than ever and is sure there is a major story there. So, he puts his investigative reporter skills to work and has another talk with EJ. First, he is not happy that he can't get Stephanie to confirm the Anastasia Sands information, but he also wants to know more about that free clinic. When EJ refuses to give Leo what he needs, Leo goes searching for answers himself and ends up in the clinic. Thanks to the hole in the drywall that he created, this isn't hard for Leo to do. Leo meets a construction worker who begins giving him orders while he is there. What he does not realize is that the construction worker is really Rita, EJ's trusted assistant. She is sure to report back to her boss that Leo is being a menace. What will EJ do to Leo to keep him quiet? EJ might also have other pressing matters because it looks like his other assistant's brother wants his job back as EJ meets with Mark Green. Will he be a doctor at University Hospital again? Now that Stephanie has decided to out herself as a smutty romance novelist, she has to do it right. Too many people already know that she is really Anastasia Sands, so she may as well go public with the news. Alex and Stephanie plan their next move and come up with a way to make the reveal a success. After all, her mystery novel will soon be released, so they need to time this right. Elsewhere, Stephanie's ex, Jeremy, starts bonding with his newest student. Can Jeremy get young Thomas to open up to him? He is teacher, but they are also cousins and living in the same house. Maybe Thomas will now have an adult confidant he can depend on. But is it the right adult? Welcome to Days of Our Lives. Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Paulina and Abe are at odds, which is a very unusual thing on Days of Our Lives, as they have one of the healthiest and most honest marriages in Salem. Now, Paulina did something that made Abe furious. But does he have a right to be? First, Abe saying there is nothing good about anything DiMera is like a slap in the face to his late wife and son, as they are both DiMeras. We found that comment to be a little crass and out of left field. Second, Paulina had a great point that Theo would be the first black, autistic head of a major corporation, which Abe should be proud of. But all Abe did was show how overprotective he is. He doesn't want his autistic son to feel that much pressure. We know it's hard to let your adult autistic kids just be who they want to be, as this writer is going through a similar experience. However, Theo is one shrewd young man, as he proved during his conversation with Gabby. Finally, Abe asked Paulina how she'd like it if she gave one of her kids advice that he knew she wouldn't like. Well, Abe has given Paulina's kids advice that Paulina may or may not have liked. He just didn't even think of it when Chanel came calling. We think we are going to take Paulina's side here, and we're sure Abe will come around to our way of thinking soon. And more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full duel recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not, forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Days of Our Lives, Chapter 2-week spoilers for October 20, 2025. Anticipate EJ DiMera getting chewed out and Gabby Hernandez making a devilish bargain. It's important to note that the last 2 days of these 2 weeks, October 30th and the 31st, are the first 2 days of November sweeps. So look for a big buildup over these 2 weeks as we get into some really wild stuff in sweeps. All right, Monday, October 20th, Steve Johnson is working with Brady Black to find Sophia Choi. They do find her, and they march her into the pub, where she will face Holly Jonas and Tate Black and Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree. Also, Javi Hernandez and Leo Stark and baby Tesoro, and also her mom, Amy. Everybody is questioning Sophia at once, demanding the truth, and she just collapses. Javi and Leo are very worried about Tesoro, so with the change in paternity, any papers Tate signed or any permission he gave for adoption are all negated. But the real biological father should get some say, or at least a little window, to decide if he wants to keep the baby or not. And of course, that's likely Aaron Green. Sarah Horton confronts EJ, and it could be about all the mess going on at the hospital, the blackout, all that stuff. Gabby and Philip Kyriakis enjoy their blossoming relationship. But if he knows that Gabby planted the bug for Tony DiMera in their corporate offices, will Philip let it slide? I mean, probably. Gabby's gorgeous. She's hot. She's in his bed. And let's be real, Philip has done so much worse than that. Tuesday, October 21st, we've got EJ trying to get on Belle Black's good side. But I'm just wondering why he feels the need to. Is it about trying to avoid some kind of prosecution or liability from the city for that blackout? He goes to see her over at Marlena Evans, so it looks like a personal conversation of sorts. She's not going to take him back, so I'm very curious to see what he wants. Sarah checks in with Marlena. She may be talking to her about her health concerns, or she may be consulting with Marlena about how she and Xander Cook are doing after their first couples therapy. Perhaps Sophia'S mental health issues come up as well after her recent collapse. Paulina Price is bickering with Abe Carver. She doesn't understand why he won't let Theo, a whole-grown man, make his own decision about being CEO of DiMera Enterprises, as Tony offered the job. We are going to have more scenes of Tony this week. Gabby comes to an agreement with Theo, and she may decide to keep her company under the DiMera umbrella, even though Tony has given it to her wholly. She may decide to keep the autonomy, but still operate under their umbrella. That way, she and Philip can still date each other, and she'll still have a good-sized corporate machine supporting her. Xander has some questions for Philip, and I wonder if he is grilling him about his interest in Gabby. As of right now, neither Philip nor Xander know that Gabby was the one who placed the bug in their office. Only Tony and Gabby know. I'm very interested to see if Tony rats her out. If it is Tony, I don't think he would. But if that's Andre DiMera masquerading as Tony, then he might do it just to be chaotic. Wednesday, October 22nd. We've got Chad DiMera and EJ talking about the family difficulties and the struggles the DiMeras have been going through over the past couple of years. They've been put through the ringer a whole lot. Some of it their fault, some of it not their fault. Jeremy Horton and Thomas DiMera connect. Remember, that's his teacher, but Thomas has been skipping out on school. Jeremy's been bringing assignments home to the house. I do wonder if Thomas may open up to Jeremy about hating Kate Roberts and hating that Chad was with her after she pretended to be his mom on Days of Our Lives. Rita catches Leo probably snooping down in the construction area at the hospital. Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis are making plans, and this may be for her big reveal as author Anastasia Sands. Thursday, October 23rd. Sarah has some information for Amy that's difficult to hear, and it is about Sophia. Sarah may be confirming the recent paternity test. I do wonder if Sarah's going to tell Amy about why Sophia collapsed. And the question is it mental? Is it physical? Is she going to recommend that she get inpatient care at Bayview? Brady is commiserating with Tate on Thursday. They may feel a loss after finding out that Sophia's baby was never part of their family, despite all the drama and the trauma. To go from thinking there's a baby to not, that's a big deal. Maggie Horton Kyriakis is grilling Xander on Thursday. She's pushing him about Philip. Rachel Black's memories are sparked, and it seems like she is starting to get a little recollection back, and that has Marlena worried. Plus, Holly and Ariana Horton have to face the music with the campus authorities for the accidental dorm fire. Friday, October 24th. Alex and Stephanie are trying to deal with the past. Alex gets real confrontational with Jeremy in Horton Town Square. Stephanie and Alex have just assumed that it's Jeremy who told Leo that she wrote "One Stormy Night," and that's just not true. Alex gets aggressive with Jeremy, and Stephanie tells her boyfriend it's not worth it, but things are about to get messy because I think Jeremy may be really aggravated by their assumptions. Javi and Leo run into Amy, and they let her hold her grandson, Tesoro. Sarah confronts Xander and demands the truth about Philip. Guess what? He caves, and he finally tells her yes, he's the one who beat Philip. Sarah kicks him out of the house and takes off her wedding ring. She says they are done. Johnny and Chanel open up about their fears. We'll see if they still get to adopt. For the week of October 27th through the 31st, and again, this includes the first couple of days of sweeps, we have Sophia possibly heading to Bayview. She was trying to run out of town, but she clearly needs help. Chad may soon have an uncomfortable run-in with Dr. Mark Green, who is due back in Salem soon. Even though Kate and Chad are split up, they're going to keep running into each other. Thomas may be leaving Salem soon. Carrie Christopher exited Days months ago for a new project. More backlash from Rachel's memories coming back of the night she shot EJ. Alex and Stephanie make plans to drop big news about her as Anastasia, just as her murder mystery is debuting. Someone is going to try and attack Kate and Chad on Halloween. Alex warns them and pushes them out of the way as a knife-wielding maniac is running loose in Horton Town Square. However, I suspect this is part of the Halloween episode that is usually a one-off and doesn't contribute to storyline plans. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, October 23rd, reveal that Paulina and Abe Carver clash. Meanwhile, Xander questions Philip. EJ tries to butter up Belle and more. Read on for soap opera news full breakdown of what's coming up. Leo is convinced that EJ is somehow behind the citywide blackout, and he's determined to prove it. So much so that he starts doing a little digging of his own. And come on, this is Leo we're talking about. He's going to get the dirt by any means necessary. But when he takes that route, things don't exactly go as planned. He ends up getting caught by Rita. Oops, Leo. Meanwhile, speaking of EJ, he and Chad take a moment to reflect on family struggles. The DiMeras have been through it all: rivalries, wars, corporate battles, love triangles, you name it. Chad, however, is in a tough spot right now. He dumped Kat to please his family, and more importantly, for his son. But things got even more complicated when Thomas DiMera gave him an ultimatum. As long as Kat stays in Salem, Thomas won't. And since Kat's clearly not going anywhere anytime soon, that raises the big question: is Thomas the one leaving? For now, Jeremy steps in to connect with Thomas and keep his promise to Chad, trying to help smooth things over. Day's spoilers for October 22 also reveal that Stephanie and Alex are looking ahead and making plans. The newly published bestseller and her boyfriend clearly have a lot to figure out. So, what's next for them? So, what are your thoughts? Do you think EJ is responsible for the blackout? Sound off in the comments and don't miss more Duel spoilers coming soon. Don't forget, new episodes stream weekdays exclusively on Peacock. Day's spoilers for Oct 22 reveal that Alex and Stephanie plan ahead, Jeremy connects with Thomas, and more.